And we're back for more Patreon content. So this one is on Alien versus Predator. Yeah, this is an interesting one because we almost got an Alien 5 directed and produced by Ridley Scott and James Cameron. We almost got it. Fox was about to move forward with it, and then they decided to fast-track a crossover film with Aliens versus Predator, and Paul W.S. Anderson stepped in to take the role, and that shut down the production of Alien 5. It's if they want to talk about missed opportunities, that's one of the biggest lost masterpieces. It's really a shame because this movie, I saw this in the theater. I remember seeing it in the theater, and overall at the time I thought it's okay. But as time goes on, you're just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why are they in Antarctica? Don't the aliens like hot conditions? Don't the predators like hot conditions? And none of it makes sense. It's just there as a cheap excuse to get these two individual creatures to fight each other. And it comes off kind of lame. It's PG-13. It sucks. The plot's not very good. Lance Henriksen came out and said the script wasn't very good, even though on the commentary track he approves of Paul W.S. Anderson's writing. It never made sense to me. This movie is not good. Thank God they didn't go past the second one. The second one is even worse than this one. That one is just like so poorly lit you can't even see anything. We never covered that on Film Rescue because we're just like, what do you fix? You'd have to just chuck the whole movie out the window. This is it's not even like the worst movie ever made. It's just incredibly disappointing. It's like when your dad says to you, I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed. That just hurts so much more. Like this had everything going for it and they just blew it on crap. Yeah, this is one of the lamest movies I think we've ever covered on Film Rescue. Here it is, the Patreon exclusive cut of our Film Rescue of Alien versus Predator. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Film Rescue Show. I'm your Pitchmaster General, Seth, and today we are talking about Alien vs. Predator, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. This podcast is brought to you by all of our dear and wonderful patrons on Patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Montresor Media. Access is $1 to our entire library, where there's extended, early release episodes, and totally unreleased shows that are only for Patreon. You can get access at patreon.com/Montresor Media. Today, I'm joined by our wonderful hosts, Aaron.
Hello.
And Jesse as well.
Yes, I'm here. 2 Paul W.S. Anderson movies in a row. This is going to be good.
I promised our guest that we would do it, and here we are. Byron, thank you for bringing up the show. Byron's been on the show a few times already, so you're
practically family.
Yeah.
It's good to be here. Hello.
So, as we normally do, I want to start on positives. Byron, why did you pick Alien vs. Predator?
I picked Alien vs. Predator because it's a concept that's just fun. It feels like the easiest thing in the world to just pick cool stuff and slot it in. And this has been done over decades. You've got Godzilla and Kong. Really all the kaiju movies just kind of blending together with guest stars and crossovers.
Mm.
And I saw this in theater, and, it's not great, but so it was a curiosity just because I've seen so many other attempts at this that were above par, and then this one was so below par. It's like,
Yeah, it's a weird like melding when you do like heroes versus villains versus villains, which is what I think this would technically slot into.
Yeah.
Because you can have an outright winner when it's all villains, right? But you can't have a outright winner when it's heroes.
Yeah.
Except in rare situations, yeah.
Yeah, I guess if there's more love for one hero than another.
Yeah, and like self-sacrifice or like, oh hey, we're killing off this hero so like their son can take over. Like every once in a while you get that kind of thing. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I kind of dove into the history of this. I didn't know the comics are actually a precursor to the movie. I thought it was the other way around, but the comics started in the early 90s.
Oh yeah, there's a lot
AVP.
of those. One of the characters in the film, played by Tommy Flanagan, Verheiden, is a reference to Mark Verheiden, who was one of the writers on all those comics.
Interesting.
Yeah, he later on went to work on television, specifically the reimagined Battlestar Galactica. So he's had his feet in the sci-fi pool for a long time.
Yeah.
nice.
And my perspective on this is backwards, really, because I was introduced to Alien through the toys first.
I love that though.
Yeah, and it's like, because it's all the cool stuff without any worrying about canon or, well, these characters would never meet. No, one of the toys is Hudson in like a posing as an alien costume, where he's using it to sneak into the hive and do science. And it's like, yeah, that's cool, let's go.
That's not in the movies at all, but okay.
No, of course not, because, that'd be fun and weird and interesting. There was going to be a cartoon, but it got pulled.
I can see why.
Yeah.
Hey, now there's a RoboCop cartoon.
Yeah, and it's good too, right?
There's a couple of them, yeah.
So, and then I got into the games, which also did really suitable storylines. And then finally, I saw, the movies, and then the final synthesis of it all, and it's the worst. Like it's just going downhill, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
There was actually plans for Fox to make a Ridley Scott, James Cameron co-production for, I think it was supposed to be an Alien 5. That was a time that was in development, and they canceled that to make this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you hate life yet? You should.
We are robbed.
You are robbed.
Yikes.
Well, what's crushing about it is, like, this was entirely made for commercial reasons. It was a tiny shoot.
Oh, yeah.
It was a quick shoot, brutally efficient, and I think it was commissioned because... Yeah, it definitely shows. And I think it was commissioned because of the success of Freddy vs. Jason.
Not
And then
shocking.
they made it, and it's... I don't know if it's more profitable than Prometheus, but it might still be the most profitable in any of the series. So it was like, oh god, the cynical aspect was right this time.
Yeah. Like, it's a PG-13 movie. There's your big negative right there. Like,
Yeah.
like now I can take my kids to see a Predator movie. Oh, f*** you, Karen.
Just a thought. Maybe if Predator is in the title, it's not for the children.
I mean, do you guys remember the trailers for this? Because I went back to look at them. They are cut like your mid-aughts action trailers. Like,
Yeah.
just get you pumped up and hyped to get
They
into
look like
the theater.
Transformers trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I'm down for this kind of thing because we got our R-rated version and it's worse. So like, the blood wouldn't save this one, and I'm excited for. Yeah, sure, why not make a PG-13 one? There's PG-13 King stories that are fun and exciting, and I think this would be a great entry level for space horror for kids, where it's like, yeah, there's scary, brutal, but you wouldn't know it from this movie.
And I did watch the unrated version in prep for this just to have a little outside opinion.
Oh, yeah. Is that any better?
Uh,
Is it just more gore? Is that all it is?
I mean, you could call it gore. It's more very bright red CGI blood.
Oh, no.
I was hoping it'd just be like language. Like they just add in more harsh language.
There is that.
Did they put the line "you're one ugly motherfucker" in there yet?
Yes,
yes.
it is. That
Thank
is in there
you.
completely.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes is where it really just like, oh yeah, we can use the F word, and it just starts dropping all the time.
Man. All right, positives.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
going to say, we've got 10 minutes into this podcast and we haven't said one damn good thing about the movie. That's...
Because none of us liked it, Aaron.
Yeah, I know. I was there. I watched it.
I don't hate it. I did. So I double featured this with AVP Requiem, and by
Well, that's why you don't
comparison-
hate it, because you hate that.
Yeah, by
Your
the time,
expectations are even lower.
yeah, by the time I finished Requiem, I was like, oh man, I want to go back to when I was watching AVP.
Yeah, you get Lance Henriksen setting a predator on fire. It's great.
Yeah,
You let your ass go, and then you try to burn him? Like, you are the dumbest idiot.
that's
Lance Henriksen
okay.
has actually publicly criticized this movie because the writing's bad.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
that makes
is.
sense.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Oh, God.
Like, no one... It's like they just took a history book and pointed at a bunch of things and slapped them together and pretended it made sense. It's like, none of this makes sense.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, sorry.
so-
Positives about the movie. I have a positive about the movie, if we would
Go
like
for
to
it.
go into that.
Sure.
I believe that there's this really cute 3-second gal pal bonding moment that you get towards the beginning of the moment between Alexa and Russo, where they're
Yeah.
talking about like the gun. Thought that was
Yes.
very cute. And Lex is honestly pretty likable in general. Like, she's not written amazingly, but she's not a terrible protagonist.
I think this for all the PWS Anderson movies that we've talked about, he is a very and I don't know if this is intentional or not. He is a very feminist director in that it might just be his ineptitude of writing, but he writes every character the same way. So, and also women are the forefront of, I think, all of his movies except for Pompeii.
Pompeii is kind of like a two co-stars kind
God,
of thing.
every time I hear
Oh, okay.
Pompeii, I hear that Bastille song.
That's a good song.
What else has he
It
done?
is.
Oh, I haven't seen Shopping because I can't be bothered. Event Horizon is mostly male dominated. Yeah.
It's pretty split cast.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not like all men and one woman. I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
unintentionally feminist is what I want to brand him with.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That is a good way to describe him. Inoffensive.
Yeah, because like Lex makes every good decision in the movie.
she does. That's exactly what I was going to say. Lex doesn't suffer from any of the typical female protagonist failings, was what I was going to say, which is the same thing.
Except for just saying, no, I don't want to go.
Which, I mean, realistically, I would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, she doesn't ever question, like, why all these guys are bringing a bunch of guns with them.
No.
Oh, well, that was a surprise. Like, they were in suitcases.
This place could still be inhabited. Really? Are you sure? Would you like to try that again?
Well, they were convinced somebody else was racing them there. I don't think they understand how Antarctic travel works. It's not
Slow.
like fucking getting from LA to New York. You can't just hop on a red eye and...
And also,
Man.
like, you're gonna shoot your opponents when they get there? That's murder.
That's a missed opportunity, because, like, what if, like, they just don't know that the predators are there, and there's, like, another human group that they're actually, like, fighting with, and so there's more confusion.
What
my
if the
gosh,
group
that'd be
that
cool.
showed up was actually Utani? There you go.
Yeah.
well, and so to the credit of the film, your like international archaeological digs, they can hire mercenaries to muscle out people that made it there first.
Yeah.
That happens with dinosaurs
Yep.
a lot.
Especially in, like, really remote areas.
Yeah, where like there's no rules in the jungle, so it's kind of this like wink and nod. If you left the army, you can go get hired by like a museum to protect archaeologists, which actually means you're gonna muscle out the natives so that you can get the stuff there. But hey, say that in your movie, so we're like on board with it. You know?
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to know.
So that gave me an idea. Alien versus Predator versus Congo.
Let's fucking go.
Sure. Why
We're
not?
putting it in like the jungle over there, right? Not like Antarctica.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got the... Whatever, it's fine. Oh, right, positives.
Yeah, we're
I-
trying.
I like
we're
the
trying.
I like the shape-shifting pyramid. That's like a rite of passage test for the predators. I think that's fucking awesome.
I love the concept. My message to the group chat was, "Oh, I forgot Cube was in this movie."
Yeah, Cube. Yeah, it's Cube.
Yep.
They get to play inside the Hellraiser cube.
Yep. Because why not?
Because it's easy to film, and it's all interior sets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is all sets. I was there one actual location?
The cliffside that Sana Lathan is climbing up at the beginning of the
Oh
movie.
yeah, the ice climbing.
Yeah. How did she not hear that helicopter land on that ice shelf?
Yeah, that whole scene was dicey.
I guess he
just-
flew in from the other side.
No, you'd still
Those
hear
are
it.
loud, dude. They're
Those are
fucking
loud.
And it would have probably actually made the ice crack. Like, they're heavy. There would have been a lot of vibration. She would have probably died.
I will say one positive I have: Colin Salmon dies the same death as he does in Resident Evil, being diced into cubes by a net.
Yep.
He's so great.
Same death. That made me
that
laugh.
scene.
I was like, yeah, I get it.
That was hysterical.
So if I'm going to compliment, the first half of the movie gave me an aneurysm. The second half of the movie, I'm cheering and having a great time. Just like a bunch of people stuck in mazes with aliens. Oh man, when the two guys drop into what is, I guess, the air vents of the temple, and they're getting taken out like left and right by xenomorphs, I was like, this feels like directly alien shit. Like, I'm very into
Yes.
the not air shafts from the original Alien.
yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And like the aliens are just dripping with KY jelly, and
The models are so good.
yeah, and there's like, this is mostly model work too. I was watching the behind the scenes stuff. I guess because CGI was expensive in 2004.
Yep.
It is a lot of puppets. The Queen is a 4/3 or
Scale. replica.
yeah, 4/3 scale model, a puppet, and then they had a full size head, and then only on the wides was it CGI. And that's
Nice.
like outside
Yeah.
in the snow so they could cover it up because it looks good. Like that.
Yeah.
That's another positive. The Queen alien looks fucking great.
Does.
Yeah.
That fucking
Because-
ovipositor when she's laying the eggs, it looks
Oh.
so realistic. It's so like gross.
Did anybody else laugh when you saw the eggs on
Yes.
that conveyor
The
belt?
conveyor belt.
Yes.
It's so great.
I was thinking about the I Love Lucy scene where she's just like shoving all the candy in her mouth. And stuff.
Oh yeah,
Well,
it's oh god.
Like, it's silly, but also it's really good visual storytelling. It tells you everything you need to know
Yep.
about the Predator's relationship with the aliens just from that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, the Queen alien being here and Lance Hendrickson being here, this is not canon, right? Like,
I
because
think
if this
they've thrown this out of canon. It's not
okay, because I was racking my brain to make this work along with like David in space creating the aliens 100 years later. Is he just recreating the is it the Yautja? Is that how you say the predator species?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't even know they had a name.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't-
Yautja.
my lore of Predator comes from the movies. Okay.
Yeah. They're ugly motherfuckers. That's their
Yeah, there you go. They're
scientific
ugly
name.
motherfuckers. Yeah.
Love it.
I just
In Samuel L. Jackson voice.
So I'm gonna blame Prometheus and Covenant for making canon a question because fuck them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I would rather
I'll take
watch
it.
either one of those than either of the AVP movies. So I'm
Oh, for sure.
going to take the
yeah,
other side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
I'll agree.
strictly just in terms of canon. It's like, wow, this makes the lore really hard to understand. It's like, fuck it, they're different movies. We're just gonna go with it.
I think they did throw AVP out of canon. Ridley Scott has publicly criticized. You can find videos online of him publicly criticizing these movies. You know, it's like, yeah, Fox. They know how I feel about those movies. Like, yeah,
I mean, he's right too, but also, move on, my lad.
He was at some public panel and he was like, an AVP, that was just a dumb idea, and starts to move on, and then the crowd starts to boo, and he stops and he turns and he was like, are you kidding me? That was a bad idea. I don't know if I agree.
Well, no, the Predators were replicants the whole time.
Man, other positives.
I've got one.
Go for it.
They did a really good job at making all of the predators look different and then damaging the aliens so you could tell them apart.
Oh,
That's
yes.
cool.
I loved all the scarring and stuff. That was a really interesting thing. It reminded me a lot of a couple of races from Star Trek, like the Jem'Hadar and the Kazon.
Yeah. Because like the fan base names each xenomorph or predator by like distinct features. And the alien is the one that gets the net dropped on him. He's called Grid. That's his like fandom
love
nickname.
that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And Grid's a smart little cookie because he knows to run away from the predator and help get the queen out.
Yes. I loved when they
that's
broke the
cool.
queen out. That was a nice scene.
They do kind of establish they have a lot more intelligence in this film.
Well, and that was something that I actually wanted to compliment was the idea that like if you used human beings from like 10,000 years ago to make your xenomorphs, since they adapt with DNA, you would have pretty dumb xenomorphs. However, humans 10,000 years later use those to make a xenomorph, you're going to have a much smarter xenomorph. And I really liked that idea that these predators are having a difficult time because humans got smarter while they were gone, and we got really smart in the last 100 years.
And I felt like a lot of the tactics that the aliens were using throughout the movie were things that are very present in nature, and it felt very intuitive and intelligent. It felt like they had actually thought about the aliens and how they should behave, which was kind of shocking because it didn't feel like they had thought about too much else.
I mean, and the answer was right in front of them the whole time. They're just raptors, so
Yeah.
run with it.
I mean, even the scene where Tommy Flanagan gets
Flanked.
attacked by the three aliens. It's like it's right out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It's the same scene.
But there's a lot of Jurassic Park in this movie.
But
Yeah.
I love that. That works.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
If you're gonna homage the best.
Exactly.
And that's, I think, why everyone could be really disappointed in this movie, is because it gets the monster stuff right and then makes you wait, I don't know, an hour before it starts. It's not the right way to handle this kind of schlock.
Unless you watch the extended cut, in which case you get to see the whalers from 1904 get taken out.
Oh, okay, I need to watch that. Okay, I'm good. I'm ready.
It's a 3-minute scene, and also, this is where I have to go into negatives.
Transition.
The plot of and we can always jump back into positives if you think of any. The opening plot of this movie made my brain fold itself in trying to make it make sense. Okay, so let's say they just took Lex's advice and took the 3 weeks off to train to go to the temple. Would the predators have then bored their hole and then just like went and found a bunch of humans to drop in there to then turn in the eggs into xenomorphs and then hunt the xenomorphs? Was that the plan? Is that what they did with the whalers? Because it's been under ice for 20,000 years, and the ice gets thicker every year. So the predators have to know there's ice there, which I guess they did because they bored that big hole. But where were they going to get the people unless the people showed up? And then in the movie, they try to explain it away with the heat signature was the trap. That's what got us here.
Oh.
How did the whalers know about the heat signature in 1904 or any subsequent century before that? I'm very, very confused. I can deal with happenstance, but not repetitive happenstance. It can't like just work out every 100 years.
You know what would fix this movie? A giant Google search just to check all of your facts to make sure your script isn't full of stupid bullshit.
Yeah, because like if they hadn't brought it up, I probably wouldn't have caught on to that. And I would have just assumed, oh yeah, the predators got there. They weren't humans. They go grab somebody. You just splice the beginning of Predators into this, and you got yourself a movie.
Well, and not to like jump into fixing it too early, but my immediate thought was, what if the predators are basically like super gamers and they just put themselves in hypersleep until people find a temple and activate it, and then it turns off their hypersleep and they come out and they're like, all right, boys, time to fucking game again. And they go down and win and then leave. That like, what if that was the setup for it? Because then they could be there for thousands of years before anything happens, but they're fine because they're in hypersleep.
That'd be cool. It'd be like kind of a Valhalla. It's like, you know, after you retire in Predator Land, you go to Earth and you go into hypersleep and it's all hunting.
Exactly. Like they put themselves in like orbit around Jupiter so they're far enough away no one would ever see them. And then, just boom, activate the temple, hypersleep off, come to Earth, fuck shit up, go back to sleep.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just,
At least it's functional.
yeah, as opposed to, back when all the continents were one landmass and humans were worshiping us with the Aztecs. No!
Yeah, that's not how that works.
That was millions of years ago, before people existed.
Yeah.
Man, okay, so that was a detail I liked when they had somebody look at the pyramid and they're like, this doesn't make any sense. It's got architecture from 3 different continents on it. I thought that was a cool detail.
That also immediately follows my favorite line of the film. They show the pyramid on the screen, and then Wayland goes, "My experts tell me it's a pyramid."
No shit!
Yep.
I almost pissed myself laughing.
I laughed so hard. I had to rewind it and rewatch it. So good.
That line then explains everything Wayland Yutani does across
much,
time.
My favorite line was when the Italian archaeologist guy, I can't remember his fucking name. He says the Aztec calendar was in metric. No, it fucking wasn't. Metric wasn't invented until 1795, asshole.
Does metric measure time?
No.
Actually,
that measures weight and distance, you asshole.
so the over under of Cinema Sins. I actually watched a Cinema Sins for the first time in like 2 years after this movie.
No.
They actually researched what the Aztec like number base was, and the Aztecs had 2 different number bases, which is really weird. Their first one was based on 360 because of circles. And then their other one was based on 260 because of pregnancy cycls.
Really?
Huh.
Isn't that way cooler
That is
than metric?
So fascinating.
On the other hand, I forgot that Cinema Sins films for how long their credits are. Dude,
fuck that.
turn the movie off.
Yeah.
People gotta get paid, people gotta get recognized. That's not a problem.
The last sin
Here's
is
how you solve that problem. Fast forward. There you go. You're done.
leave the theater. Like, this isn't hard. Anyways, I thought that research was really cool because I was going to do it myself, but they did it for me. And I was like, wow.
Nice.
Because I was going to say like 365, but that's based on a Julian calendar, and that's not how people have always measured time. But yeah, 360 and 260. There you go. Like, and also aliens are all about pregnancy. So
It makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Oh man, that could have been cool. Wait, that should have been the tagline for the movie. Alien versus Predator. No matter what, this could have been cool.
Alien versus Pregnator.
Oh, that's the porn parody.
Moving on. So I'm looking at the credits right here. It says story by Dan O'Bannon and Ron Shusett. What the hell? They're dead. What the hell do they have to do with this thing?
Great question. Did you know there was an AVP script written in 1989 that turned into the comics?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, so
I did not.
So they wrote the AVP script, which got shit canned for, and you're gonna hate this, the 4th Alien movie.
Yeah.
What even
love
is
it.
the
You'd love to
Alien
hear it.
franchise in terms of decision making, other than poor?
Fuck you,
Yeah.
Joss Whedon.
Yeah, they shit canned it for that Alien movie, but then they were like, well, this could make a cool comic, and that's where the 90s comic spun off into.
Now, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, if you're listening to this, we love you very much. It's not your fault.
We know you didn't want to do it. We know.
Now, that does also answer why so much of the like science is pseudoscience in this.
Because it was done back in the 80s before they clarified this stuff.
Right, exactly. Also, I found out in my research, one of the guys from Ancient Aliens was consulted on the Anderson version of the script.
That is awesome.
Oh, Jesus.
Hype.
Which
was it that guy?
it wasn't. It's the Italian guy that like pops up all the time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
I can't remember his name. I'll try to look it up while we're going. But yeah, he was like story consultant. He got paid a shitload for this.
I'm sure
They
he did.
spared every expense.
Oh boy, this movie! What an experience.
I'm trying to think of another positive. I'm having a hard time.
Oh, the slow mo
like,
shot
conceptually-
when the face huggers jump out. That was
Oh
one.
yeah,
That
the
was
flying
cool.
vagina.
What were you gonna say, Aaron?
Like conceptually, the idea of Lex and the Predator like joining forces and communicating with each other, there were a lot of good moments. Like I thought the Scar moment was kind of cool. And like how he was just sort of, I'm sorry, I'm inferring its gender, but he was just kind of like inviting her into the, like hunter
fold.
fray. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I like a lot of the concepts of that. And I like a lot of the acting that was done in that. I just don't like the whole movie, the context that it's in.
Well, and doesn't that go to show that you could have a totally scriptless AVP movie?
Yeah.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think wasn't that like a plan for a script? It was like just a predator that was dumped onto the alien homeworld and was hunting. Wasn't that one of the scripts or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. That sounds awesome, though.
There's a bunch of different Alien versus Predator scripts. I think that was one of them where it was just like a silent movie where it was just a predator dumped onto a planet.
I dig it.
I would watch that.
I'd
Sure.
watch it.
Yeah, I liked how it showed her why she should carry around the skull with her.
Yeah.
It's like he pours the acid on the body and it just runs off.
Oh, in the
Yeah.
And he's like, pick this up, please, but can't talk. So, like,
There was
that was great.
there's really good use of nonverbal communication, which I really appreciated.
in the extended cut, there's while he's cutting the top of that alien's head off, he puts his sword into the alien brain in a certain spot to make the little mouth shoot out and scares Lex for a second, and then he gives this like cockhead look, and then she just like figures out that it's a joke, and it's all nonverbal, and it's really
That's
awesome.
adorable.
Also, that's a big difference between the two. In the original cut, she gets the scar marking right after that alien kill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which she didn't really do much. She just kind of fell backwards and held her spear up.
Right. So in the extended version, she actually gets the scar marking after they after they get out of the pyramid before the queen shows up.
I think
Okay.
that makes more sense, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, the extended cut is, I will say, like, and maybe that's why my experience has been like a little more positive than y'all's. The extended cut is like 10% better. Like it does improve upon a lot of things a little bit.
But it's still like a
Nice.
40% movie, so it bumps up to 50%. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll
okay.
take a full letter grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I don't know what else I could say as a positive. I really don't have anything else, man.
yeah,
You got some
The
negatives?
movie's so bland. It's just
Yeah.
it's so fucking milquetoast the entire time. Because it was it just me, or is the movie very, very bright?
oh, it's very lit.
The lighting in the end
Interesting.
fight is so weird.
There's a dark temple with no fire and no electricity, and it's like
Yeah.
it looks like a set. It looks like a cheap set. Like
What?
this should
And
look
nobody's acting cold at all.
this should look like The Descent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This should look like dark all the time. Like that would get you around a lot. You could save budget on your art, your artistry of your set. You could save budget on your special effects that really don't look very good. Yeah, like you could save money on that. But why would you light this thing like this unless you just didn't know how to light the set?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking back to when I saw this in the theater, and it didn't strike me as too lit or too dark. What it reminded me of is playing video games, and you have
Yeah.
that like volumetric fog.
Oh yeah.
Because things that were further
yeah.
away got brighter, so everything had just kind of this. it reminded me of like a Silent Hill and a pyramid.
Yeah.
Because the atmosphere was always bright.
Why the
But all
fuck
the-
is there fog? It's cold.
I don't know.
Is it really
Look,
cold there? Because I couldn't believe that it was cold.
alien
You could not convince
pyramids
me they
are
were in the fucking
mysterious.
Antarctic.
My
They
favorite
act
part
in
of
weird
this.
ways.
My favorite part of this is that when they get to the end of the movie and they ride that fucking rocket sled, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
Fucking go, man! Was that always the plan? Is that how that rocket sled's supposed to come out of that hole?
No, no,
at that speed.
No, she broke it to
Oh,
do
okay.
that.
All right.
It has rockets on it. I think that's how it was built.
Sure. But here's the thing. Like, when they get out into the open, it's like nighttime and it's 70 below zero, and she's walking around without a jacket on. Like, she'd be dead in 2
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Or here's
So
another thought.
bad.
Like they say, we can't let them reach the surface. Why? They're gonna get out of the hole and they're gonna freeze into ice cubes and then probably shatter into 1,000 pieces when they're on the surface. There's nowhere to go. They're not on Antarctica. They're not on the continent. They're on an island.
Yeah.
I mean, they could survive in space. I think they'll be fine on Antarctica.
But they froze the queen.
Oh, yeah.
In
Whoops.
They froze the queen, dude.
in colder than our Antarctica. Yeah, that works.
It's just setting this in Antarctica makes no fucking sense. Like, why is this not set in like Central America?
Expensive to shoot.
Ooh. Or Alaska. Put it in Alaska.
The aliens and predators prefer temperate climates, or
yeah.
tropical climates. Like the original Alien, when they go into the hold of the ship, they say that it's hot in there because the eggs are. It's an incubator.
Yep.
So, and then you get to the Predator movies, it all takes place in the jungle, and then the second movie takes place during a heat wave in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They prefer hot climates. Why
Yeah.
is this
But
set in Antarctica? This is dumb.
But how else would you get Pangea into it if you couldn't have it be on Antarctica?
Here's an
So
idea.
I think you're right.
Here's an idea. Don't. You don't
Yeah.
need it.
I'm down for that.
You don't fucking
100%.
need it. You if you set it in Central America, you still have access to the Aztecs.
Yeah.
You don't even need it.
You could still have a pyramid. What the fuck?
You still have what the fuck? You don't even need the shit. Oh my god. Fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
It's like, you look at Scooby-Doo and you're like, man, if Fred had a gun, all these would be over much faster.
Oh, man.
Dude, I shot you because you look like a monster. You did this to yourself.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I do have another positive. I like conceptually, and maybe even in execution, the idea of the Predator rite of passage, and that Earth is like so below them that they just ship their teenagers off here to get blooded.
That's kind of what Predator 2 is.
Well, because it also adds to the Predator canon in that the first two Predator movies are like either they're like also teenagers getting blooded, or they're just like social outcasts that are going to the sewage planet just to hunt because they're desperate.
Yeah, no one lets them go on cool hunts.
Right. Because Predators establishes they have their own like hunting reserve planet, like the cool hunting planet for the alpha predators.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of another thing. So they say in the lore of this movie that the Predators only come back every 100 years. Well, what the fuck was that in Predator 1 and 2?
That's what I'm saying. Those are like the social outcast dummies.
Or they just fucked up and didn't do research.
Yeah.
Well, it's crop rotation, and like different continents are in season at different times. So like South America every 100 years, and then off by 30 is North America. Off by 30 is. I mean, that would also be cool, right? Which like they're paying attention to the ecology of the planet they hunt on. But no, it's fine. Just go to Antarctica.
Sure. Yeah, it's just.
Those were the cheap season tickets.
I remember being in the theater, and anytime anything cool would happen, there was just silence. Because everybody was just kind of confused by what they were seeing. like the fucking canniest thing I've seen in this movie is when the Predator grabs an alien. I think it's, what is it, Grid? Grabs him and it's like swinging him around like Batman in BVS. He's just swinging him around the room. Like, this is the fucking dumbest shit.
I remember
so
how popular the WWF was at the time.
Oh god, like how do you go from like the quality of Predator 1 and Alien 1 to this? It's just amazing the drop in quality.
I mean, lightning in a bottle situations mixed with like amazing filmmakers.
Oh, and see the grappling, all the fighting and stuff, that's what I was there for. But because they tried to temper it with, you need to take this movie seriously, there's a heated pyramid under Antarctica. The whole message is confused. Like, we should be cheering every time somebody lands like that Kong vs. Godzilla punch on the aircraft carrier.
Yeah, there's no camp. All the camp's gone.
Yeah, they're taking it too seriously. Like they tried, I think, I shoved this into canon in some way, and then they basically just said, nah, fuck that. Those are bad. We're not going to listen to that. These are out of canon now. These are no longer part of the series. They just kind of are ignored. So.
That being said, I would still take a third one.
Yeah, give it another shot. Like the existing two we have. Oh no, their legacy will be forgotten. Okay.
Yeah. Let's.
If they did something cool with it, sure. You know. Oh, was it funny to anybody else seeing the Predators fighting on top of the Aztec pyramid and like that horde of aliens is coming at them?
Oh yeah.
But it's all the same exact visual version. It's like Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V.
That part confused me because they're saying a whole society wiped out overnight. So am I to assume that the society was wiped out to make all of those xenomorphs, or were they wiped out by the nuke? In which case, how did they make so many fucking xenomorphs? I have
no idea.
So what I thought happened, because I think the Mayans empire like crumbled very quickly. I think it was referring to that. And I think it was kind of what happened here, which was they went for a standard hunt, things got out of control, the queen escaped. And then that's when they had to blow up the whole zone.
Was it the Mayans that were into human sacrifice, or was it the Aztecs?
I know Aztecs did. I think the Mayans might have. I don't know much about them.
I think it was
except
more
that
the
they had
Aztecs,
plumed
but a
archers.
little both.
I remember learning this shit in 6th grade, the difference between the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incans, and I don't remember much about it.
I remember the Spaniards came and gave them syphilis, and then they all died. That's what I recall.
I remember that part. I remember the ending.
Oof. Yeah. That was...
So Aaron, what grinds your gears about AVP?
You know what? I would like? Like the whole last fight. If you just like cut that off the movie, it's like a way better movie, right?
Fighting the queen in the snow?
Yeah, if you just get rid of the fighting the queen in the snow, so just excise that part and have like go from the like having them escape up the tube and then have there be like a tearful farewell with her new predator friend and then the end, because that fight was just so long and so blue and so it does not at all look like Antarctica. So that was kind of just fucking with my suspension of disbelief.
There's another issue with it in that if you actually were to live in Antarctica, it's 6 months out of the year that it's daytime, and it's 6 months out of the year that it's nighttime.
Yep.
They show daytime in the opening, and then it becomes night.
Mm-hmm.
It's that 30 days of night situation where it's right there at the switchover.
It's on the solstice or the equinox, whichever one is right.
Maybe establish that. But then there's that shot when they're jumping over the cavern, the broken bridge, and they're looking up through like a canyon. There's light at the top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where the fuck is that light coming from?
Of a pyramid. Oh no.
So, Aaron, I'm gonna side with you on this one because that whole sequence gets worse the more you think about it. Because the Predator ship is already parked there and cloaked, so they're just like chilling in the ship, watching these two fight the alien queen and doing fuck all about it.
You assholes could have helped the whole time, you pricks.
It's such a meaningless fight.
And just showing the reverse of them sitting there like drinking their tequila or whatever watching would have been perfect.
Yeah, there's the camp.
Did you see that there's like a giant line of predators? There's like 100 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, guys, are you fucking kidding me?
Or like one of the predators leans over to the other predator on the ship, and he's like, hey, maybe we should help out. I'm like, nah, he's got it. It's fine.
He just puts up a hand. No, he earned this.
Wouldn't they be pissed off that the humans fucked up their hunting ground?
Wasn't the point to get the humans there to sacrifice them anyways, though?
Yeah, but not
Pretty
to kill
much.
the queen.
Well, yeah, but they also killed most of the humans that were down there.
Yeah.
So
See,
they got their revenge.
Well, let's say the movie ends poorly and Lex dies along with the Predator. Are they then going to uncloak the ship and just nuke the queen and leave? Because honestly, I prefer that ending.
That's a good ending too.
Well, I mean, Lex isn't going to go anywhere because there's nowhere to go.
Right.
So that's the thing, right? She should have gone with the predators.
Oh,
Exactly.
The whole
100%.
time I was
matter how
like,
cold it
couldn't
is.
she say to the predators, "Hey, I'm kind of stuck here. Can you guys give me a lift?" Like, seriously?
You drop me
Yeah,
off in
it'd
New
be
York,
great.
maybe.
The predators look at each other and then just road trip.
Apparently, in the lore of the comics, there's a human character that integrated with the Predator Society.
Yeah, I think Lex was based on her, and that's
Yeah.
a part of my pitch.
Then why not have her go with them and make that part of the sequel?
Well,
Because
because
we're different, I guess, and worse.
For fuck's sake. For fucking
Oh,
God.
okay.
the audience would never believe that, Jesse.
Oh, yeah,
That's
but
right. You drive your snowmobile into the frigid winter like a real person, because this is realistic.
Oh,
What I will say though is I got so bored during that final fight that I was just listening to music, because I just blare music when the movies get too boring, so I can just get
Nice.
through them. And I it's in our Discord. I took a little video of the fight, and it worked so much better than the actual movie that it gave me giggles, and that was really the shining highlight of my experience today.
And I'm glad you brought that up. The only thing that I could genuinely compliment on the sequel to this is they bring back the Predator theme. The Predator theme comes back in Requiem, and it is absent in this movie. There's no alien music.
There's hints of it. There's shades of it. They play the first 3 notes, and then it goes into something else. I guess for rights issues, I guess.
It's all Fox,
They
though. I mean, it's all
The
Disney
music
now.
is just
but-
kind of meh overall in general.
yeah.
Yeah,
that
the
reminds
score
me.
is forgettable at best.
Yes.
So, speaking of Disney owning it, the creators of the Predator are suing Disney to reclaim the Predator.
That's cool as
which
shit.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Good.
I hope they win.
the only thing I'm upset with is if they succeed, Skulls will be canceled.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, maybe
So
get
it's
something better.
Well, that's the thing is, I don't know, but I hope Skulls is good, but no matter who wins, we lose. And that's the best tagline for any movie, and I'm sorry it was used on this one.
What was the tagline for Requiem? It was
Darker, better, uncut.
oh no,
I don't know.
no, there will be no peace on Earth.
There already is no peace on Earth, asshole.
I like the poster for Requiem where it's just the Earth, but with a predator head growing out of it and an alien head growing out of it looking at each other.
The kaiju version of that movie is the infinitely better version.
It looks like a Transformers poster.
Yeah, it does.
Fuck it, it looks like Unicron. God damn it.
So what is the third sci-fi horror franchise that you could plug into Alien to have a Alien versus Predator versus movie?
Terminator.
Saw.
I couldn't
So
tell
just-
if those
what
were
else is-
groans or agreement.
What else was Fox based at the time?
Oh, that I don't know. You're getting real
They
specific.
distributed Star Wars. See, they distributed Star Wars. Who did Mission Impossible? Because Secret Agent versus Alien versus Predator could be cool.
I don't know.
X-Files, because there actually already is an X-Files tie-in in that the
True.
ship is named Piper Maru, which is the name of Gillian Anderson's daughter, and a ship from an episode of the X-Files.
Nice.
How about Critters?
There you go.
Ooh, Gremlins.
Ooh, the Thing, maybe?
The plot of Requiem is just Gremlins, by the way.
Oh, that reminds me. This movie, it takes place in Antarctica. Seth, you said this because it's just a thing.
Oh, yeah, it's just to reference The Thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. Yeah.
Well, I like how remote it is, and then there's also just a whaling village there, too.
Hey, you know what else is remote? The fucking jungle.
Yeah. Aztec pyramids that haven't been found yet. Like, that'd be good. Like, the Amazon has, like, encompassed entire civilizations.
Well, okay, so here...
Like, a good chunk of the Amazon still hasn't even been discovered yet.
Yeah.
There's entire indigenous tribes that no one knows about yet. What if there's a whole group of people that are there that worship the predators?
Well, and here's your setup. Wayland, alternate reality, Wayland's the first one to get a satellite into space, and they're mapping the Earth, and they find a pyramid that way in the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something.
Is easier, at least. Yeah. And also, if I made, like, any major change, it would be to not have xenomorphs, but to have, like, an adaptation that could eventually become the full xenomorph, just because I would like this to be canon, but I would also like it to fit into canon. Like, this is your chance to experiment with aliens.
Well, that's the thing, is, like, this was canon for a long time until another movie said, no, it's not. So, like, at the time it was. So, like, retrofitting it again, it can't be future-proofed. You can't future-proof canon.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, how many times have every X-Men character died and then been brought back to life? You know?
I mean, the X-Men also have characters that can literally rewrite reality, and not just one, but like 5 of them, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Infinitely resettable timeline.
There's your third crossover, Aliens versus Predator versus X-Men.
Nice.
There you go.
Aren't the AVP comics Marvel, or Marvel adjacent?
They are now.
They are now that the Alien rights have been gone over to Marvel because of 20th Century's acquisition.
Nice.
Yeah, before they were Dark Horse.
Ooh, okay. Logan versus Alien, where every time he kills an alien, part of his body gets burned off by acid, but then it grows back. That would be fucking cool.
Wow.
You can test to see if the adamantium melts or not.
Right.
Ooh. And like the aliens finally figure out how to stop him, which is just they dogpile him and then just tear themselves open on him so he's in a pool of acid.
Whoa.
You have this metal skeleton just in this pool of acid.
Dark, I love it.
That's almost how he died recently, which is the guy got
Nice.
covered in adamantium and then he just froze to death.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Put him in the refrigerator like a Resident Evil villain.
Why do comic book writers hate Wolverine? That's just... Why?
He's the whipping boy. That's what he is.
He gets attention, so we gotta tear him down to stand apart.
They wrote an entire series where the man settles down in the future and is happy, and then the point of the series is, fuck you, buddy, you gotta do it all over again. Talking about Old Man Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Any final thoughts? This movie's confusing and really fun and also very boring. I don't know how they fit every kind of movie that we try to fix on this show into the same movie.
Yeah. And also,
glorious.
if you're familiar with World of Warcraft at all, there's kind of like the little mini Graham Leroy Jenkins moment.
Do what?
Guess you never played WoW. It's okay.
No, I do know Leroy Jenkins, but in this movie, what's the Leroy Jenkins moment?
Like the whole like Graham and where he fires the gun and then all of the eggs explode. It just reminds me of Onyxia.
Oh,
I rated
yeah,
a lot in
yeah.
WoW, so.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. When Ewan... that's a positive. Ewan Bremer, right? He's not in enough stuff.
No, he's not, and he's really awesome.
Yeah, he's not in enough stuff, and I wish he would be in more things. But,
I loved him as Goose in Pearl Harbor. That was like probably one of my favorite roles of his.
He was good in was it The Rundown, the pilot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I'm gonna put Rundown on Palate Cleanser one day because I like that movie.
me too.
Nice.
I was really hoping that Lex was going to grab his camera and take it back for his kids, but I don't think that ever happened.
No,
it's fine.
She
He's
picked it
gone.
up and then she put it back down, and like they had that whole thing where they established, I don't want my kids thinking that their dad was a loser or whatever the fuck he said, and then like.
Well, here's an idea. Take some photographs of the fucking alien eggs, and then you have proof of life of alien existence, and you can go back and be a millionaire.
Yeah, so many things, so many missed opportunities with that camera.
Yeah.
So a trope in these new alien things that I really love is characters that know what the chestburster is going to do, and they have to take the shot, but they're so emotionally wrecked they don't take the shot until like after the person's already been chewed out from the inside.
Oh yeah, and they're already dead. They're already dead.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, this is good work. Thanks.
Poor Sebastian. He's like, do it, kill me. And he suffers for like 5 more seconds of intense pain while she's like, I can't do it. And the predator's behind her going like, dude, you're fucking pansy.
Yeah, just like, he catches it in midair and kills it. It's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
He like shrugs.
Snaps its neck. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, there's so much fun shit in here. Why am I smiling and laughing about how much I like this movie, but then also like having an aneurysm? It doesn't make
because these are just little things that are fun, like him catching the alien baby and snapping its neck. That's like what, 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Out of an hour and 40 minutes. And by the way, the credits are 10 minutes long, so this is technically a 90-minute movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out. Especially with this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so I have a final question. Without being confused,
I'll try my best.
A totally new person to this film, where could you drop them in and the movie still plays out and makes complete sense to them?
Ooh.
What?
I mean, honestly,
so
before the final.
So I'm saying, let's say we have a hypothetical person that has never seen an Alien or Predator movie or AVP. At what minute mark in the movie could you start them off and they would still totally understand the movie and still skip a chunk of it? Because I'm thinking you could literally start someone off when they get into the pyramid.
Where can you start the movie? Oh yeah, the pyramid. Because I actually noted when I was watching this, I was like, oh, this is just Prometheus.
Yeah.
It's literally the first act is just Prometheus. The movie doesn't really start until they're already on the boat.
Down to the point where they have a sit-down chair meeting with a Wayland in a ship on their way to the location.
They're getting a briefing while they're on the way.
Yeah.
Don't you do the briefing before you get on the boat?
Yeah, generally.
Well, no, because like Ridley Scott says this was just a bad idea.
Why'd you rip off so much shit from it, you dick?
I've got words for that man.
I still think that his last 2 movies in this series have just been him flexing on all the bad shit in the series.
I wish they were better then. He's getting weak. I would start, because I've got a short attention span. I would start somebody in the movie when the eggs show up in the breeding chamber.
Ooh.
Just like flat out 0 to 60, something bad's happening to these people. Oh, what the fuck's going on? Oh no. And actually that makes the chestburster scene where they don't show anything work better in this movie's favor, because like, okay, something bad happened to all those people. I don't know what though, because we didn't see it. And then it just builds from there, and you got like a solid half hour of high octane adventure.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see it. I could drop it. Yeah, it's like a 45-minute Alien film.
Yeah.
Cut out half the budget.
Because none of the setup matters.
Aaron, had you seen this movie before?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw the unrated version before, because I remember there being alien brains.
Yeah.
There's alien brains in that scene. Yeah. And there weren't alien brains this time. I remember it being a lot gorier.
Yeah,
that was a very
I do like
long
the scene
time
where
ago.
the predator chops off the alien's head and it just sits there for a second and then the top of its head falls off.
Yeah.
You see its brain. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I like that.
My favorite gore trope. People who get cut in half and don't realize and then start to slide in half.
Yeah. You did the same thing in Resident Evil.
Yep.
Yeah, when Colin Salmon gets chopped into like tiny pieces by that laser grid.
I think we've said it on another one of his movies before. He is a fantastic, like, stunt and visual director. Like, he knows what's going to play well visually, but he needs his story guy. Like, he needs his partner director who understands the story that can couple these really cool sequences in, because it's the David Leitch and Chad Stahelski conundrum. On their own, Chad Stahelski's doing a lot better than Leitch is, because Leitch is great at action. And that's it.
Yeah.
Everything else, he needs somebody to give him a hand.
Wow. PWS Anderson is the David Leitch, and he needs to find his Stahelski.
I really think he's rapidly becoming the nemesis of the podcast. Like, I think Zack Snyder was just a deterrent. We really talk about his films a lot.
Because he chooses the most interesting movies and franchises to get into. Like he
made the Resident Evil franchise last for 6 goddamn movies. Bad as they were, they lasted 6 movies.
Yep.
It's more than you can say about Snyder.
Capcom's made CG movies.
Yep.
And they're just worse. So
yeah. Was it Resident
insane.
Evil Degeneration or whatever it is?
But like his non Resident Evil stuff, Mortal Kombat, Event Horizon, Soldier, AVP. He's got Death Race. He's got Three Musketeers. Like he picks really cool sounding movies, and I think that's why he is the way that he is. He knows what a cool sounding movie sounds like, and then he tries to create that thing, but it's not ever totally there.
Well, he's kind of like a fanboy.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like, he really loves Alien, he really loves Predator. Like, let's put them together. I could do that movie. Or he enjoys the Three Musketeers book. I'm going to do my own version of it. I like Blade Runner. I'm going to do Soldier. Like, because Soldier is apparently a side story to Blade Runner.
Yep.
Kind of, sort of. Like, I like Hellraiser. I'm going to do Event Horizons. Like, it's like spinning off. It's like fan films.
Yeah.
It's like, he's a guy that got a ton of money to make his own fan films.
If you told me this AVP was a fan film, my scoring would jump to like a 9. I'd be like, holy shit.
If this was a fan film, great.
Question. Pick your favorite franchise, like your favorite film franchise, and you have to choose either J.J. Abrams or Anderson to like reboot it. Who do you choose?
Aaron, I thought we were friends. Why would you do this to me?
Aaron, fuck you, you're fired.
It's no. Fucking Seth needs to suffer for this podcast, and we're gonna make it happen.
Oh, God.
Okay. I am ready. I can go first.
Go for it.
So Starship Troopers is my favorite. I guess you could call it a franchise.
Yeah.
But there's 1.5 good movies.
I'm down with that.
Yeah. Are we counting the animated films?
Oh, yeah, why not? Yeah, there's like 1.5, maybe 2 good movies out of it. And J.J. Abrams would make it much less interesting, much more palatable, much more profitable, and much more like C quality. So I would give it to Paul W.S. Anderson because it may be worse overall, but I'd be more excited, and I also refuse to give Abrams more work.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
That's the hurdles we have to jump over. Either a tiny hurdle you can easily hop over, or the other hurdle is covered with nails. Which one do you want to do?
Yeah, this question actually, as I thought about it, might be a little more tailored than I anticipated. So Indiana Jones is my favorite film series, and I would much rather see the J.J. Abrams version because he can ape Spielberg so well.
He's the new Spielberg.
You're not wrong.
Oh man, that's rough. I'm sorry.
However, whatever like P.W.S. Anderson would come up with to do his version of Indiana Jones, like Panama Jack or something like that. I'm not.
Oh god.
I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it.
The Uncharted movie with Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh god.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And he would, because he loves video games.
Yeah, this basically feels like a side story from the Alien vs. Predator video games.
Yeah.
Which are infinitely better.
Yeah.
So Jesse, Bloodshot, or do you want Abrams or Anderson to direct your Bloodshot film?
Anderson!
Yeah! Lock it up!
At least Anderson has some fucking balls to put gore into his movies.
Oh, true.
J.J. Abrams would just cut away from everything.
That's true. That would
I
suck.
want my kids to go see these movies. Fuck your kids.
The J.J. Abrams version of Bloodshot would have, little Bloodshot in it.
Actually, that exists.
What? Like as a dwarf or as a
like
child?
A kid. Yeah, like Kid Bloodshot.
Okay.
Let me find
Kid
it.
Shot.
Ooh, get the actor who played Ender from Ender's Game to be Baby Bloodshot.
Asa Butterfield.
Let me find it.
I like when you're on, Aaron, because you think of really cutting questions.
I assault people with questions. I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
true. It's
Well, 'cause I had to figure out what my favorite film franchise was at first.
That's hysterical
It's a tough
because I thought
one.
for sure you were gonna go for Indiana Jones.
Well, I had to think because at first I was like Star Wars, and then I was like, no, J.J. Abrams already took that, so
and we've seen the result.
I would love to see Anderson's version of Star Wars.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Yeah.
would like to see Anderson's version of Star Trek. Answering my own question, seeing what Abrams has done with Star Trek. Hi, Anderson, what you got? What you hit me
Yeah,
up
let's
with?
go.
There you go.
A race to
Oh,
comparison.
hell yeah. Kid Bloodshot in the Discord. Does that say squirt squirt?
That is so cool.
That's blood squirt.
Blood squirt!
I'm sorry, I probably
Oh,
just popped
God,
on my card.
Jesse,
That's like some PJ Maybe stuff
I-
from Judge Dredd.
I might have to read the Bloodshot comics now.
He's hallucinating a kid version of himself.
I love it.
Nice.
Blood squirt. That's perfect. I think that's the exact right part to take a quick break. When we come back, Byron is going to fix AVP.
It's true.
You are. I don't know what your pitch is because you usually pitch very well, so I didn't need to know. You are welcome to take any of the things that I've suggested to this point that unless you're doing a whole new story, which is also fine.
Yeah, I figured we've got enough for two, because I've written out one that's a complete remake, but then what you've described, everybody has described like a vast retooling improvement of the existing movie.
Yeah, the punch up version, the film rescue version versus a full redo. We will listen to those when we come back. In the meantime, here's a word from one of our friends.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Chipman, aka The Chippa. You may remember me from an episode of the Film Rescue Show where I talked about Serenity. No, not the Joss Whedon one, the really, really, really terrible one with Matthew McConaughey. No, you didn't catch that episode? Oh, whoa, you did catch that episode? Well, either way, come check me out, because you're listening to a podcast. And, when you're listening to a podcast, you really want to listen to other podcasts. You can find me by searching The Chippa Made This anywhere podcasts are found. You will find all of my shows. I do 4 of them. I do the Chipman Brothers Tangent podcast with my brother Movie Bob. I do Creating Geeks, a parenting podcast of great responsibility with my wife. I do the Talkbuster podcast, all about the video rental industry. And I do Shooting the Shit with Chippa, which is just my excuse to talk to more people without any real plan or point. Also, the Film Rescue Show's own Seth Decker is the editor on my show, This Made the Chippa, which you can find by going to patreon.com/thechippa and supporting me for $2 or more. You'll get access to that, as well as my show Hopped Ones, which is just like the Spicy Wing Challenge show, Hot Ones, but we drink beer. So if you enjoy all of that stuff and just like a happy, positive guy on the internet that also makes podcasts, go and find me, and I'm happy to share all this crap with you guys. Bye.
Welcome back to the show. I'm joined by Aaron, Jesse, and Byron. We've been just yucking it up during the break. Stick around after the outro to hear what we were talking about. It's all Mortal Kombat and mustaches and Tom Holland's baby face.
Movie's fine.
Wait, the Tom Holland mustache movie?
No, not that, you asshole.
We're talking about Alien versus Predator. We've already pitched a couple ideas to fix the movie proper, but Byron has a whole new pitch. I'm gonna throw to you, but my first question is: could it functionally be the third in the AVP series and grant my wish of a trilogy?
Oh yeah, easily. It's disconnected from everything.
I love it. Well, the show is yours. What's your pitch?
So I'm lifting basically the whole comic book storyline for this one, because it does a really good job of introducing everything. It would be workable as someone's first entry into the series, because it was mine. The book version was my entry into this. So, and so to give you a summary, it's so what if Aliens vs Predator, but in a Western frontier setting?
Ooh.
So it's in the far future. So around the time of Aliens, around the time of Prometheus and Covenant. So space travel, companies, Marines, cassette futurism.
Okay.
And it takes place on a newly established ranching colony. And our main character is Michiko Noguchi. She's the corporate executive that's stationed there. She's a city girl in a country planet, which is, that's a problem.
Was that the character that actually integrates with the Predator Society and becomes one of them?
Yeah, and that's also here too.
No, okay, there you go.
And so she doesn't fit in because she took the position to get a promotion. She doesn't want to be there. She has almost nothing in common with the colonists. This is played out using film techniques, like visuals and audio. So you've got like the blue collar workers that take care of the cattle. You've got the cattle owners, and everyone's kind of at conflict because everyone's there to make money. It's been a long year. They're about to get the first, I guess, crop. I don't know too much about ranching. They're gathering the first crop to send back for processing and payment. And we really take this first segment of the film to get to know the colony. So, dust, tumbleweeds, the general store, the characters. And it's a little bit future-y, but it's remote. So everything's pretty basic. You still see, like, hand tools and whatnot. And, budgets are definitely cut. So instead of, protective gear, they just reuse spacesuits. You could see some guys working in the sewage depot, and they've just got the spacesuits from the first Alien, because why buy a different kind of suit? This will work fine.
Nice.
I mean, that's normal in, most corporate environments. They don't use the stuff until it's absolutely... They will use it until it's absolutely unusable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even, the film industry, the lights that I've seen on productions, oh, yeah, remember when we used this shit on Blade Runner? Really?
That's a fourth generation key light.
Yeah. I remember when we used this stuff on Lord of the Rings. That was 20 years ago. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and so I really want that feel. I want this to be really grounded. You want to get a feel for the people and why they would go to a ranching colony. The advantages, the kind of people that would attract, the kind of people that don't have a choice. Really get that kind of that feel for it. Let's see, and so her deal is that she's really ambitious and she wants it done fast.
Okay.
And that doesn't really work with cattle because, there's a life cycle and everything.
Yeah.
So that's the source.
What is it? The triangle of productivity: good, fast, cheap. You can only have two.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because it's a corporation she works for, they want all three, but yesterday.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I want to make a note that the company she works for is not Wayland Yutani. It's a small step that I want to make the world bigger. There's more than one Supercorp.
I like that.
This one's called... Yeah, and it has no difference on the plot. It's just that this one's called Chigusa. It's there's not just Toyota out here. Okay, nice. Yeah, so there's families, there's tycoons, workers, laborers. It's not huge, it's fine. But unknown to the colonists, Raishu's one of the hunting planets that the Predators use. That also expands it. They don't just go all the way to Earth and fuck around. They've got planets all over. This one, nice desert aspect. It's still hot, but dry. They probably have others, like in Predators.
I just love the idea of a Predator tour guide or a tourist agency where you go in and you're like, I'm feeling like a desert hunt this year. I've got exactly the right place for you.
I get pneumonia often. I require a dry environment.
Or something like Total Recall, where it's
Yes!
simulation.
But
Exactly.
if they smash their visors on their helmets, are their heads going to explode?
We shall see.
That's for the thrill seekers, the extreme hunters.
Okay.
Yeah, so the timing has lined up. The Predators are visiting. They're not detected because they're Predator ships, really advanced technology. And they seed the planet with alien eggs. And the queen's bound on the ship laying the eggs.
Oh.
And she uses kind of clever cunning and guile to disable the security device that cooks all of the eggs that have a queen in them. So she gets one queen egg onto the planet. So there's all these eggs, and they put them remotely where all the herds are. Because, there's like the town, the outskirts, and then the grasslands, or the grazing fields. So the eggs are in the grazing fields, and infect the the livestock. And if you wanted to add more human stuff, one of the tycoons finds them afterwards where they're kind of like sick and woozy and they don't feel too good, but he doesn't want to report it because the whole herd will have to be quarantined then.
Ah, yeah, I like that.
And so everyone's bringing these, the herds back, and they load them onto kind of like a Nostromo-sized, just refrigerated truck unit. So it's this giant cargo module with a tow that's in orbit. And so they just put all the cattle on board and have this huge celebration, before hitting the sack. And like the crew of the ship, after, drinking, they go back to their ship. The door doesn't work. So they pry it open with like a crowbar and then get dragged inside immediately. And so the next morning, the predators are dropped off, and they start to organize the hunt. It's a group of young predators, and one elder.
Is there within the comic a visual differentiation? Are they like shorter and taller, or like different headdress? Or I'm not familiar with the lore.
Yeah, it's kind of like what John Carter does, in that the more metal you have, the higher status you have. So the youth don't have any armor at all. There's no chest piece, there's no shoulder piece, there's no knee pads. It's just like a loincloth and their netting for their gear. And so, and then we can use other visuals to indicate that the older predator is in charge and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they encounter a scientist who was kind of curious about what was going on with, like, why the animals were so weird, and so he headed out to where they were grazing, and through kind of an accident, like he's trying to get on his motorcycle or hover cycle to escape, and they glance one of the wheels, so it collides with the ship, triggering a fusion explosion, which knocks out the in-charge predator and scatters the others, and kills the scientist. So now everyone who knows what's happening is dead.
I mean, if you want a clean slate in the middle of the movie, that's the way you do it.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's part of what I want to do is to highlight the kind of tragedy where, like, nobody wanted this. None of this was on purpose. That feels more natural to me for an alien story rather than, oh, the company set this up the whole time. That kind of stuff bothers me. So the young predators without guidance are like, all right, we're going to just kill these humans that that attacked us. Let's fucking go. And they start moving in on the outskirts and attacking towns, or, the villagers, because it's a frontier town on the edge of society. You hear a noise, you pick up your weapon, you check it out. Yeah. And that's all they need. And also, these are younger predators, so they don't really follow the rules. So they're going after unarmed people, children, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, what is the actual predator society like? It's never established very well.
Yeah, and I figure this could add a little bit to it, but I don't want to fill in the whole map. Yeah. Where it's like, the ones that have all the armor on them act like the one in the first movie, where it's like, okay, they have to be armed. I can't kill, even if they are armed, I can't kill one that's carrying young, that kind of a thing. Yeah. Because that makes them interesting to me. But also, no culture's a monolith.
Shouldn't it be the opposite? Like, you have more armor when you're younger and inexperienced, because then you can take more of a beating, but as you get more skilled, you don't need the armor?
Well, you're thinking like a human. Predators want their young to die young if they're not going to make it.
Oh, it's eugenics. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's an acid test. Prove you can do it with just your hands.
So
and then
you can get the cool stuff.
They're the Spartans. Exactly.
It's the same reason you start off naked in that one game with the loincloth. Is it Ark? You start off with
survival
nothing.
Evolved.
All right. Or Dark Souls or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Again, just
Yeah,
more
so-
proof that predators are just gamers, guys.
It's true. Yeah, these are predator gamers.
There are many similarities.
There's a difference
You get-
between gamer and game hunting, Seth.
I mean,
yeah, but you get more points.
you get physically fit doing it. It's VR, but in real life.
Oh my god,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
excellent.
Continue.
So survivors start making it back to the town, talking about invisible monsters that are attacking them, and there are not a lot of survivors. So they barricade the town with like a storm wall that they have set up, which is visually going to point out that they're walling themselves in with the aliens because the ships landed in like the center of town. And then you've got the town, and then you've got the wall that they're closing off. And everyone gets armed. And so, so now there's a pitched battle going on between young predators and the colonists. Forget how the injured predator recovers to a point, and in the comic, he's healed by a human doctor. I forget how to get that integrated here. But basically, he wakes up, he's lost complete control of his pack because they're bloodlusted, revenge. They're here to prove themselves hot-blooded. So he starts trying to work together with the humans because he's like, talk to the predators. They're not listening to him. They're also getting killed stupidly because they're new, and they were here to fight aliens, so they don't actually have the gear to engage with like humans with shotguns and whatnot, because, well, I'm here to hunt gerbils or whatever, and it's like, oh, snakes, fuck.
Well, also, this is the first time we're dealing with what time frame is this set in? This is set
approximate to Alien 2.
Okay, so this is like we're dealing with people with like advanced weaponry at this point.
More advanced,
Yeah. Like sheriff level stuff, so auto shotguns probably would be the highest stuff they got.
So it's different from the original Predator, where they're just using regular standard weaponry to take out one Predator, and that kills off an entire squad.
Right.
So they could probably do some damage to the Predators at this point.
Yeah, and I really want to highlight that they're inexperienced, and that's a big part of why they're not doing well. So like they're not using their cloak. They're taking a really long time to get trophies while the fight is still going on. And so there's like, there's rookie mistakes and everything's chaos. The aliens break out of the ship and start attacking everybody and dragging more inside the ship. They get a few of the predators, so everything goes nuts. The whole third act is pandemonium.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's the best part of any kind of this, and I only want the first two parts of the movie to last long enough to make you not even invest in the characters, but the situation.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, this is gonna go wild, and then it cooks off, and it's like, yeah, I was right, this is wild. So the old predator, works with Machiko, and they figure out that this is getting out of control, and the only solution they have is to crash the tug from orbit into the colony.
Ooh.
And so
I say we nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
it's always the only way to be sure.
Yeah.
So they have to go to the center of town where the remote control is for the ship. As you imagine, the center of town's a little dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we've got time limits, all kinds of cool stuff. Big, interesting fights in new positions. Like some equipment's been damaged by acid or gunfire or predators fucking around and being like, I know what I'll do. I'll cut the lights. Just
Chaos.
Absolute chaos. It's going to be great. You can play with the visuals and the lighting. So they get to the control room. Machiko works. The Predator is mortally wounded by the Queen. And then I think yeah, and then Machiko's able to use like an elevator door to sever the queen's head.
Nice.
Yes.
And so she's in the elevator with him. He, he takes a bit of the blooding agent, marks her forehead with his clan because she's the only one who passed.
I love that.
I want to imagine the PTA meeting when he gets back and they're like, you took all of our sons to get blooded and you came back with a human woman. What the fuck, Brian?
The best part is it's his dead body. So they're just like yelling at this dead lad.
God damn it, Kyle. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Not again.
Does anybody even know what humans eat?
Yeah. I knew we shouldn't have sent that drunk with our children.
I like that. I like visually incorporating that maybe he's a little bit hitting the bottle through the trip, and that's why this goes up. Give Predators a little personality.
He could be like missing an eye and maybe a hand. Just like he's actually too old for this.
Right.
Make him actually feel like a real character and not just a narrative device
Exactly.
that has a cool model.
They tried that in the awful The Predator movie, where they tried to give the Predator some character.
Yeah.
That movie. I will not fix that fucking movie.
No. What's to fix?
What's the visual equivalent of I'm getting too old for this shit? Is it just like a big Predator sigh?
Oh, no, we can go much more interesting than that. We can have, like, liver spots on his skin. It can be, like, graying, because all the other predators are vibrant and, like, yellow and brown and green. And he's, like, he looks old. He looks like stone. All of his stuff is, like, scratched and pitted. Just, maybe one of his wrist blades is chipped.
Yeah. His gun barely works. He has to, like, punch it a couple of times to make it fucking work.
Oh,
yeah.
This is like a dreams Predator scenario for me. Predators that you can understand.
I love that this is like the lower decks scenario of Predator, like, the ones that aren't quite as good.
Well, and I don't imagine Predator culture is okay with retiring.
Right.
So he's like, I just keep not getting killed, and I'm so tired of this.
I bet that it's probably no word in their language for retire. It's just die.
Yeah.
You're either alive or you're dead, and in the middle you hunt, and that is Predator life.
What was that terrible Hercules movie where Ian McShane like walks out into the battlefield to get pelted by arrows and just can't die?
Oh, yeah, Hercules. Yeah, was that the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson version?
Yes.
Yeah, that piece of shit. Oh, God, fuck.
We could give him, like, acid burns over part of his body.
Yo, yeah.
And I definitely want Lady Predators around, too, because that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And also the toys. We gotta have the toys.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. I have a serious question, and this is not a crass comment at all. Do female predators have boobs?
Yes.
I mean,
why?
Well, so that's like
they don't have normal mouths.
Are they mammals? Are they
I don't
supposed
know.
to be mammals?
They don't have normal mouths.
I mean,
how do they breastfeed?
So
oh my God! Oh fuck, Jesse! Why did you need to put that mental image in my head?
Well, I would assume.
Yes, I grossed out Aaron. All right, I did it.
I would
Revenge.
Okay, my tit hurt.
I would assume baby predators don't have their teeth yet, so it's just the mandibles. But to answer the question, I would say yes because humans, the Yautja, like basically any like humanoid in this alien predator universe are descendants of the Prometheus alien race, which is mammalian and has mammary setups with their female equivalent. We don't even know the gender setup of that species. So I'm going to say probably yes in a scientific way as much as I can, just to answer your question in an also not crass way.
Yeah. Well, and for me, it's like the reason I
that
want...
brings another question up. So the predators are descended from the Prometheans?
Yeah. Anything humanoid. The Prometheans seeded the entire universe with lots of different humanoids, and then they just nuke the ones they don't like.
Are you telling me that Ridley Scott's magnum opus is a ripoff of that one Next Generation episode?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, God, move on.
I mean, it's better than his son's story about humans just seating themselves in a circle in time.
Oh, yeah, and then the Halo franchise ripped that shit off. Oh, fuck. I will not fix a fucking Halo movie if that gets made.
Nice.
Well, you won't have to. It'll be perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, it'll be trash, and then we'll all just forget about it.
I'm suddenly
From the director of District 9 and nothing else.
I'm suddenly teleported to 2009 when Peter Jackson built an entire warthog just to prove that he could.
God, like seriously,
They used it. They used it in District 9. The Jeeps that they drive, they're just retrofitted warhogs.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie
That's
also
cool.
since 2009.
Yeah. Well, all that shit from the Halo movie got shoveled over to District 9. 'Cause they're like,
Nice.
we already built this shit. We got to use it.
Nice.
Like the Needler shows up in the movie as one of the background weapons, and I'm like, it's all there. It's just it's hidden. So.
Nice. Yeah, so the reason I'd like female predators in there is to add more space. Because it's like we've only seen, as far as we can tell, male predators. And I think it'd be more interesting if the female predators also hunted, rather than just,
Oh yeah.
they're not on camera, they're doing something else.
We could Metroid it, where you don't take the armor off until the very end, and then that's when you realize it's a girl predator.
Yeah, that could work too.
There you
That'd
go,
be
you do
exciting. Ladies can be too old for this shit too. That's important.
Yes, we can.
Also, I'm just anytime we talk about any of these like nerddom kind of franchises, all I think about is like cosplay ability. And if you're introducing anything new to this universe that can be cosplayed, it will be cosplayed, and
Yes.
that just it's circular money. It's like the best thing
Yeah.
you can do from a business standpoint.
I'm just thinking
Yeah.
of like an old lady predator just like sitting around being like, God damn it, I hate this shit. I'm so tired of it. I haven't gotten any dick in like 10 years. Fuck this goddamn job. I hate it so much. Fuck everything and fuck all of you.
She's got the spear from 2, but she uses it like a walking stick.
Yes! She's just done with all this shit.
Yeah.
Fuck
And she's
your
like
tradition.
a really good fighter, but also I hate these things.
You know what I hate? I hate that our little female predator character that we've been working on for all of 5 seconds has more personality than the entire cast of the actual real fucking movie combined.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess this is hard, maybe. I don't know. Oh, right. So an important detail is that Machiko, the thing that she's like been going after her whole life, turns out is not promotion. It turns out it's rabid adrenaline-filled violence.
Ah.
Oh, I
And
like
so
that.
she loves it. Shooting the monsters, fleeing for her life, all of it. All the tricky shit. Probably helicopter stunts, because those are excellent.
Yes.
She
I have to
loves
admit,
it.
in 2021, the idea of a corporate woman just being like, fuck it, I'm going to the middle of nowhere, and then you get to the middle of nowhere and you're like, fuck it, there's these aliens here and there's these predators here. Well, you know what? I guess I gotta pick a side. Predator it is, bitch. This is my life now. I love that. Anytime you have an opportunity to introduce chaos in your life, just grabbing the bull by the horns and just taking it.
I love imagining the dialogue moment in my head of like third act. It's the middle of the fucking climax, and some human character sees her with the predator and goes, "You sided with them?" And she goes, "They have bigger guns," and just takes off running.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love her.
Just excellent stuff like that. She likes the weapons. She likes using them. Just really tapping into that and breaking through the facade of like, oh, I've wanted to do this my whole life, but it was never presented as an option.
This is also a very interesting opportunity to set up the idea that it's not that she was not like set up for this kind of Western living, because the whole first half of the movie is like just the monotony of frontier life is annoying to her. And normally in movies we code that as like, oh, she's not adjusting well, but it's actually like, no, it's just the monotony that I hate. And as soon as they get to the excitement, she's deep in the paint, like jumping in the mud, like not asking any questions. And so that like character turn of, oh, it was just the monotony that she hated. Got it.
Yep.
I love that idea.
I can totally vibe with that too. Like,
Yeah.
fuck. Corporate
Well,
monotony
like-
sucks.
because like in Aliens, they go out of their way to show that the Marines are usually recruited from like lower class or even prisoners.
Yeah.
And so
that's just real life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And also, like, she's on this planet with cattle. She doesn't care about cattle. They're not important. And so people are, like, fighting over money, or, you know, somebody stole my cows, or somebody closed their gate too early and that delayed me by a half hour. She doesn't give a shit. And this is where she finds out what she does care about, which, you know, I think is cool.
Looks like you've been missing some days there, Peter. Missing it, Bob.
I like it.
Exactly, yeah. And so they get everyone they can. So now it's like they've called the ship, it's going to crash. Now they have to open the storm shutters to get out. And they, you know, use the loudspeaker to say, anybody who can, get out, because it's going to crash and blow up the thing. And so, you know, the ship crashes, huge fusion bomb explosion. If I was lazy, I'd just copy the footage from Aliens.
I mean,
Yeah,
you can. That was like a $10 effect. Do you know how they did that?
Oh no, how'd they do that?
It's a light bulb with cotton around it.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that
It's
shit.
literally $10.
I
You go back and watch it again. It's a literal light bulb with cotton just strewn around it.
My favorite one of those is in the first Terminator movie when the eye is going out.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just foil in there reflecting a cigarette in, and then he blows the smoke across the Terminator for the like effect.
Yep, that's it. Cheap as dirt. Back when James Cameron was still young and hungry as a filmmaker.
It's good stuff. Don't worry. I'm sure we'll fix every Avatar film.
No.
No, we will not.
Byron, if you do that, I swear to God, you're not just fired, you're banned from this show forever.
Yeah, I don't know about this Wii shit, but I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want with your free time.
I will not submit myself to the 3-hour monotony that is the first Avatar. I can't even imagine what the others are going to be like.
I don't think I've ever seen the first Avatar all the way through. It just bores me because I have that thing with like some CGI just doesn't capture my attention, and that film doesn't capture my attention.
Byron,
So much CGI.
Byron, name the main character of Avatar.
Blue, and his pal Archer.
Dickface McButthole. I don't
Driving
know,
it,
he's just a giant
skidding to Woodland.
Oh yeah, Terminator's in that movie.
Terminator's in that movie. Oh God.
All right, so
fixing the movie that we were actually talking about.
So the end of the movie is, you know, the Marines have showed up and they're evacuating the survivors, and they're I don't know how dark to go, because like they're either burning the bodies that are left of people who like escaped but had chest bursters in them.
I say yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we're
they're
already
just,
at an R. We may as well go for the hard R. So yes, and say fuck a lot.
Yeah, so they burn the bodies and put them into a ditch, that kind of a thing. Everyone's kind of okay. Any of our surviving characters like say goodbye to Machiko and get on the ship. She has built herself a shack in the middle of nowhere with like the queen's skull mounted on it.
Nice.
And she's got a rocking chair on the porch with her shotgun.
Yes.
And
Abandon hope, all ye who enter.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And she's got the kit for the other Predator. She'd concealed it from the Marines. Ooh. And so when the Predators are like, kindergarten class 3 didn't show up, so we're going to send somebody to see what happened. They find her marked with the Elder's gear and body and an alien queen skull. So there's just a moment of them kind of scratching their heads and looking in the, I guess she's
impressed.
And then they take her. And they go out on hunts together. And that's the end of the movie.
Dude, what if alien society is kind of like Klingon society, whereas if you like kill somebody, you take their rank over, so now she has become that rank in Predator society?
I love it. Imagine the sequel where like you're a young Predator about to be blooded, and then you get assigned to the human teacher, and she's like 3 feet 3 feet shorter than you, but just like punches you in the dick when you do anything wrong.
I love that you went the same direction with me, making their biggest hard ass.
So that's movie 2, which does happen, and it's exciting.
Love it.
I have one thing I would love to add. This is like this is a dumb, weird comedy trope that I like. I would love if Machiko drags a cigarette for like stress relief, but throughout the movie, through happenstance, is incapable of getting the cigarette to either light, or if it does get lit, it gets put out, but like never gets that hit. And then the final shot of the movie is just like the end of an alien tail on fire. And she brings it up to the cigarette and just takes the biggest fucking drag and blows the smoke into the screen into the credits. Just that,
Yes,
like,
I love that.
We gotta modernize it though, so it's gonna be a vape.
Yeah, totally. Can't
Yeah, sure.
whatever you got to do.
That'd be great.
That just like the sigh of relief for the audience of like, not only did we make it through this chaotic fucking adventure, but our main character, who has not been able to have any reprieve, finally gets it, and it's just like that just en masse just.
How do you feel about making it coffee instead of a cigarette?
Yeah.
And like,
what
she has her cup, and then the phone rings, so she puts it down and has to go. She gets another cup later, and like somebody knocks it out of her hand by accident.
Middle of a fight,
Yeah.
she sees a cup of coffee and reaches for it, and an alien tail smashes down through it.
And she's like shocked, so she picks up her coffee, but it's spilling everywhere because she's shaking so much, and just fuck.
Yeah.
And then she takes some, and it's like, oh, instant.
Whatever vice you want, I'm fine with whatever vice. I want that sigh of relief at the end.
Okay, nice. Because the bad tycoon, I want him to smoke pipe tobacco.
Oh.
So that's his thing. Because it's like, yeah, I guess, but also why?
It's retro now, so like I can't even imagine in 200 years in the future. Although pipe smoke is like my favorite smelling smoke. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It does smell good. It smells sweet.
Oh,
I used to get pipe tobacco candles because they smell so good.
Yeah, see, some flavor going on in our characters because they're not going to be around long.
For as much weed as I smoke, I'm surprised I haven't looked into mixing pipe smoke into that. That might be the new thing.
Mm.
Well, let us know when we do Alien vs. Predator 2.
Patent pending, actually. You know what?
There you go, man.
Verbal trademark. No one can steal that.
There you go. Oh, right, yeah, and so we'll have the person, or the Predator who decides to bring her aboard, have the same clan marker that she's got. So it's like either family or association or something. And then the mid-credit stinger is a ship arrives in orbit after all of this is gone. Everyone's left. And it's a Weyland-Yutani ship sniffing around for rumors.
Ooh.
There you go.
It's like, it's not sequel bait. I like that. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
it could be.
oh, this would also happen after this movie happened.
Right.
This makes sense.
Like, you could use that as a jumping off point for another movie, but there's no reason you have to.
Yeah. That's what I like about this kind of scene. Is like, the movie's over, all of our characters are gone, there may not even be anything left to find, but, you know, that ship doesn't know it, and it's gonna try and find out and see what happens.
Yeah. You don't need to have a direct connection to like the Alien series, like, oh, it's the Sulaco, it showed back up. Oh, look at that. Like, it's still on its course back home. Like, no, we don't need that.
Oh my god, it's the Sulaco, it's Hicks. Don't you remember him? It's all of our CGI people who are no longer with us. Isn't that cool?
So, I have two questions.
Yeah.
Who would you cast as Machiko?
Ming-Na Wen.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm gonna have to Google that because I know the name. I'm trying to match the face to it.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah.
Mandalorian.
Yep.
I'm having trouble thinking because, like,
What age
I
do you
read the
think
comic and the book, so it's like a very specific person, and I'm woefully under-equipped. Like, I don't know too many Japanese or North Asian actors.
That's an open floor question, by the way. And then my second question, while you're thinking on that one, who is the Shakespearean actor stunt casting to be the android in the movie? Because you have to have an android if you're going to have it set in this future.
If you want to really be connected to the rest of it, Michael Fassbender.
See, that definitely canonizes it. I say do like what was the name of the company, Byron, that you named that's not Wayland Yutani?
Chigusa.
What if it was like Benedict Cumberbatch?
I
There
mean,
you
I
go.
That could be
consider
good.
that.
I'd also
The man
like
looks like an
Dame
android,
Judi Dench.
so yeah. Yeah, why is it always a male android? Why not make it a woman?
Hey, no reason not to. Tilda Swinton is an android? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Sign
Oh
me up.
wait, Jai Kinnaman.
Oh.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
No,
then we can have
seriously,
like
it's perfect.
we can have like 20 of them show up and they all get killed off, and it's the most amazing catharsis ever.
It's like it's a 5-minute gearing up and going out to battle scene to push off the aliens, and they just all get eviscerated. It's like
They immediately get killed.
yeah.
You know who might work out? Chiaki Kuriyama. She was the girl who was in Kill Bill as Gogo Yubari. She's in her
Nice.
mid-30s now, so she's not like super young, but she's still like 5'4" and can fight like a motherfuck.
Yeah, that could be
Ooh.
nice.
Okay.
I'm
Was
thinking-
that the girl with the what the hell was that ball?
Yeah, the
spiked
mace ball.
Yeah.
The mace,
Oh,
yeah, the mace. yeah.
Actually, now
Yeah, she was in Battle Royale too.
that especially the switch from like normal corporate life into I love violence, because she's got that like that look in her eye in Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
And she can clean up well. She can look like somebody who just walked out of a corporate environment and is now starting her life as a badass.
Oh, totally.
So that's the thing that's going to be absolutely important before effects, before anything else, is costuming.
Yes.
She is going to look trim. Every single person is going to have a huge amount of detail in their costume. Like the difference between the tycoons and the laborers and the families, all of that. So you can just tell by looking at them kind of who they are, how much money they have, that kind of stuff.
Oh.
In terms of actress, I think Grace Park from Battlestar Galactica could do
I
a
like
really
that
good job.
choice. I like that choice.
And Constance Wu,
Ooh.
I think, could do a really good job.
There you go.
I love Grace Park. I think she's so cute.
Mm-hmm. She was very good in Battlestar until the last season where they completely derailed her character.
She's also
Yeah.
That's not her fault.
she's
It's not her fault.
she's also in the new MacGyver TV show.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Wasn't she was on what the hell was it? Hawaii 5-0
Oh yeah.
for a while. The remake of Hawaii 5-0.
Oh man, the most performatively woke show of all time. Hired all
Yeah.
these Asian and Hawaiian actors and then underpaid all of them. Fuck you guys. That is awful.
Fucking
It's like, that's
hell.
worse, right? You know that's worse.
That's worse.
Pretty much.
We're all about
I love that
diversity.
meme. That meme is like the meme of this decade.
It really
pretty
is.
much.
And
It's great,
William
yeah.
Jackson Harper's delivery of that in the show, just like the desperation of, that's worse. You know that's worse, right?
His character was just so flawlessly acted throughout the whole thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh man, I have not cried laughing this much in a podcast in a long time.
Oh, I'm glad to bring some joy. And if you want to see what this could look like, the first Alien vs. Predator comic is there, and there's like 3 books that do Machiko's journey, which is excellent. There's just so much cool shit you could do. Just cut out all the stuff that gets in the way, like, oh, well, we got to set it on Earth, or, oh, wait, we need motivation for it. It's like, fuck you. It takes place in a place. That's your motivation.
As long as we care,
I don't want to work here.
as long as we care about one person.
Yeah.
And
As long as I'm not gonna forget the names of characters if they're likable
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
interesting. But can you name what the Italian archaeologist's name is in the actual AVP movie?
Pepsi.
Pepsi guy.
He's got the little, the only product placement in the movie.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Although,
That was the only product placement.
to be fair, that question could apply to basically anything. Like, what's the main character's name in Hellraiser that's not Hellraiser?
Kirsty
Um,
Cotton.
Oh, wow. You pulled that
I
out.
like her.
Because I've actually read the book and I've also seen the movie a bunch because I like that character.
Well, there you go.
I was surprised.
You're
I
full
thought
of
it was
shit.
going to be...
What's the main character of Avatar?
Fuck you.
The
Jivenich, Kidderman, Timble, Woodland.
The only reason I will ever remember it is because of the way that Zoe Saldana says it. Jake Sully.
Oh yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
I was having
just-
a Danish moment. I'm sorry.
A Danish moment. Yeah, that it's just there's sometimes lines in movies that have like melody to them, and that melody will just kind of stick in my head, and that's one
Me
of them.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that too with like RoboCop when Emil shoots the giant rifle and just says, "I like it."
Oh yeah, yes.
It's like, yep, okay.
My name's Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Will never leave my brain.
Look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Aha. Give me that.
Yep. Ooh, the whole gene pool speech from The Lion King.
Oh.
You know, we didn't see you at Simba's naming. It's like, oh, was that today? I feel simply awful. It must have slipped my mind.
With the slipperies out your mama. That fuck what Jesus words. I tried and I found nothing.
Aaron just short-circuited.
Yeah,
There's
pretty much.
Sparks coming out of
Pretty
her
much.
out of her head right now.
My
It
medication is
happens.
wearing off. I can feel
Oh,
it.
no.
You
I
tagging
should
out,
take
Aaron?
mine.
You tagging out?
Well, let's
Yeah.
let's bring this podcast to an end then. That was a great pitch. I totally dig it. It feels way more Alien and Predator than Alien versus Predator.
I know, right?
Space Western is what I'm feeling.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
I love it.
It's like
Like
th-
High Noon or something like that.
yeah, like 310 to Yuma, but set
Yeah.
in, this like futuristic setting. I dig it. It's very good, Byron. I'm very happy with this.
Awesome. Well, thanks.
Also-
it feels good.
Predator characterization is, I feel like, my big takeaway. This shouldn't be that hard, guys. Like, really, this shouldn't be that hard.
For real.
Yeah, you had these characters around for almost 40 years at this point. Why the fuck have you not given them any kind of fucking personality at this point? Like, as far as I'm aware, the Predator Society is composed of a bunch of dudes that just like to kill shit. There's nothing else. Like, you gotta put something in here.
Right.
You know what? To just fix the original AVP movie, just intercut a scene where you just cut back to the Predator homeworld and it's just a bunch of lady predators just stitching bitching. They're just making clothes and talking about how shitty their husbands are or something stupid like that.
I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like the Predator homeworld, like all the women are just in like a giant poly orgy and they just rejected all the men into space and they're like, just go fucking hunt. Go away. We hate you.
So predators are incels now, or what you're telling me?
Come back every 100 years when we need kids and then otherwise
Dear
fuck
Seth,
off.
I hate it.
Yeah, they've
Thanks,
seized
I hate
control of the culture by just being like, all right, so you go do hunt stuff. It's really important.
I mean,
We won't respect you if you don't hunt.
As-
And they're like, okay, cool. Now we can do our own work.
does sexual frustration in gaming not make sense for the Predator's backstory? That just
Not at
it
all.
tracks
It
very
makes
well
perfect
for
sense.
me.
I mean, sexual frustration in gaming. Have you ever listened to a Call of Duty gaming session? Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Guys,
You
go
fuckers need to get laid.
go to the outside. It's real VR. Let's
These graphics are great.
let's bring this to a close. This has been a great time. I did not think we would have this much to say about AVP, but
Me either.
here we are.
And we will not fix Requiem because it's basically like, what do you fix?
Well, here's the fix.
Like-
Go watch Gremlins, and you're welcome.
there you go.
It's true, yeah.
Here's the thing. You don't watch Requiem. You just go watch Gremlins, and you're done.
And that's the fix for a lot of movies. Realistically, the takeaway from this episode is go watch Gremlins.
Yeah. Yeah.
You watch a compilation of the kills on YouTube, and like that, you saw all the best parts.
Yeah.
No.
And the movie is so fucking dark that good luck seeing anything.
Right.
Jesus Christ. I think I tapped out 20 minutes in. I was like, I'm done.
There's like 3 cool things in it that really make me giddy, and then the rest are awful. But
Yeah.
let's track this to a close. Byron, thank you for being here and guest hosting occasionally, and also bringing us these amazing pitches.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to turn my, fandom into something useful. So that's handy.
I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to call us useful, but
You
Why
you
not?
could learn.
We're cool.
You could learn something
We're
from this
down.
Hey,
podcast.
if for the 3 people out there that are questioning, should I watch the AVP movies? This episode will be immensely helpful to them.
Yes.
So we are doing the Lord's work. There you go.
Aaron, thank you for hosting with me today. Let the world know where they can check out your stuff.
Hi. Well, if you're looking for me doing podcast things, I talk about movies that do not suck with my dear friends Jesse, Seth, and everyone else who decides to come on the Palate Cleanser podcast. We talk about films that we have a certain sort of nostalgia for. We have a soon-to-be upcoming podcast called Loki Sucks Dick, which is going to be a queer take on the upcoming Marvel series Loki. If you want to follow me personally, the best place to find me is Twitter or Instagram at Aaron Moriarty YT.
Perfect. And then Jesse, thank you for hosting with me today, and you can let the world know what you're up to.
Well, we have 2 podcasts. We have That Weird Ass Game, where we discuss weird, unusual games. That'll be coming back very soon. And also, we have Split the Difference, where we take original films and compare them to their remakes. Brandon will be joining us tomorrow for Fist of Fury versus Fist of Legend. He'll be coming back once again because that's his wheelhouse, and we kind of need him to be on the episode for that. So, and we will more than likely tackle a little bit of Mortal Kombat at some point because martial arts movie, it's going to come up. There's no way around it.
True.
And if you want to get in touch with me, find me on Twitter at HardcoreBshot.
And I have been your Pitch Master General for this episode and all future episodes, except for the ones that I'm sick or dead for. You can find me on Twitter at SethXDecker. This is going to bring the episode to a close. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the stuff after the outro song credits. We don't really have credits. This is the credits, technically, I guess. So enjoy our conversation after this. Stick around for that. It was funny, and I liked it, and I requested it get put there. So,
and then go watch Gremlins.
And good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.
I'm looking up the Uncharted movie stuff right now. This sounds terrible.
Baby Spider-Man's going on an adventure.
Why do you don't do the prequel before you do the main story?
He has...
Looking at you, Mortal Kombat.
I'm very fine with the Mortal Kombat being a prequel.
So if anybody talks to me about Mortal Kombat canon, I'm gonna slap them.
Yeah.
Because
Brandon
fuck
is-
that.
Brandon is the expert on this. We're probably discussing it tomorrow for
Nice.
Split the Difference.
No, so what
because-
else?
No, well, we're doing Split the Difference as well because we're doing Fist of Fury and Fist of Legends. It's martial arts movies. It's gonna come up.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna come up, Seth.
We could dance around it if we wanted to.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't like the fact that it's a prequel. That's my personal thing. Like, you don't do the prequel, but you don't do the story where they break the rules before you've set the rules in place.
Yeah.
Because the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, what are the rules of Mortal Kombat? Like, if I got chosen to participate in this tournament and I was to show up on this island to fight, can I bring any weapon with me?
Yeah.
So if I came to the island with 2 AK-47s and a howitzer, that's okay?
100%.
All right. Hey, Goro, come on over here. I'm going to fight you. And I just unload him with a howitzer and just blow him to 1,000 pieces.
Have you not played the games?
Flawless victory, you cheating asshole.
Sonya Blade's, like, half of her weapons are guns.
That's fine in the games, but in a film, it's like, it makes no sense to do that.
Well, I mean, so I think the difference is going to be there's so many different species that, like, Reptile took, 8 shots and 6 knives? You know, maybe earth weapons aren't going to work as well against other species, so you want to be good at, like, everything and also have your arcana.
So that's something that the first movie actually covered a little bit, which is once you go into the other dimension, tech doesn't work. That's why you have to do all like your hand stuff.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of the new Mortal Kombat movies, him being like, well, I'll kill them on their home turf before they can get to the tournament. It's like, no, fuck you.
No.
Humans are really confident on home turf. They go into another dimension. They're like, oh, fuck. All my shit doesn't work. I'm going to get rocked.
Yeah, like, it just makes no sense as the way they did that. I mean, overall, I thought the movie was like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. I didn't hate it. I thought it definitely has massive pacing problems. It starts out so goddamn slow.
Oh, no.
And Cole is the most boring fucking human I think you could possibly put into a movie. He's supposed to be it's Louis Tan's character. He's the new guy.
Is he from the games, or did they make him for the movie?
Nope, he's supposed to be the audience surrogate character, but the entire time I'm watching the movie, Kano is the audience surrogate character, because he's like, what the fuck is all this bullshit?
Yeah, oh no. Because like I'm imagining it kind of like a wrestling match, right? You know, you've got these giant personalities.
Have you watched it yet?
Not yet. I'm going to watch it tonight. But, you know, I watched the old ones in preparation. And it's like, I don't need an audience POV character for a wrestling match. I don't want, you know, Bill from accounting to also be in the ring with, like, you know, all these personalities.
I mean, he's a martial artist that's not very good, but the story is that he's the descendant of Hanzo Hasashi, Scorpion.
Oh, gotcha.
But the problem is he doesn't have any of Scorpion's power sets. Why?
Well, so this is another problem, and I hate the Descendants thing, because it's like, all right, if you're going to have a kid, show me Scorpion fucking. Come on, do it, you cowards.
No, they show that he actually... the opening 7 minutes is online right now. Mm-hmm. The baby is supposed to be one of his other descendants, and so that line gets carried down. So they do establish it pretty well, but... it still just doesn't quite make a lot of sense because his powers is that he basically becomes Colossus.
Oh.
He builds armor around himself. It doesn't make him a better fighter, though.
Yeah, like that's some man with the iron fists.
Yeah.
Energy, which is cool, but it sounds like they did it wrong.
Why the fuck didn't the RZA just direct this thing and just be done with it?
Seriously, that'd be great.
Like,
I love those movies.
The action scenes are good. They're fine. I didn't have a problem with them. Maybe there's like some jank edits every now and again, but overall, I thought the action is good. In the second half, when the action finally picks up, it finally gets rolling. There's some good action. There's some good gore effects. They have some good fatalities. Kung Lao's saw blade fatality is in there, where they ride somebody like a surfboard across his blade helmet.
Flawless victory.
Yeah, I like the second half gets a lot better, but there's some stupid fucking shit in this movie.
The pacing, that was my big issue.
The first half is slow as shit.
How? The movie's short. I still haven't watched it. I need to. I started last night. I started it and then I fell asleep.
The first half is incredibly boring, Aaron.
Jesse, did you notice the plot hole?
Which one?
So, Liu Kang, when they arrive at the temple, shows them that Jax is there and then says, "Yep, I was on my way out to come get you guys," which means Sonya Blade and Jax's entire adventure was for nothing.
Yeah.
Nice.
It feels like 3 separate scripts. They took the first act from one script, the second act from another script, and the third act from a third script, and just kind of slapped them together.
Oh, in the theater, I forgot how much I enjoy the audience interaction with a film when it's like tempered and good.
Yeah.
Sonya Blade, Cole asks Sonya, he goes, "Where's your mark?" And she goes, "I don't have one." And some dude in like the front right corner goes, "Womp womp," and the entire theater just erupted with laughter.
That was the biggest load of bullshit that she's not part of the chosen group to fight. Like, dude, the one woman you have on your team and you don't give her the mark. Are you fucking kidding me?
I know.
And by the way, like that whole chosen, it's not a chosen one storyline. Apparently you can get the mark if you kill somebody with the mark. That's not a chosen one. That is I leveled up my character from level 5 to level 6.
That's like cursed gold storyline.
Fucking stupid. Why the fuck is Kano carrying the whole movie?
Oh my god. Jesse kept leaning over to me going, I don't like him. Why is he one of the heroes? And then when he has his like heel turn, she was like, oh.
Oh my God. There's one moment where I realized he was the real audience surrogate. It's when they randomly meet up with Liu Kang in the desert, and Liu Kang is like, we've been chosen to fight. It is our destiny. He puts his hand on Kano's shoulder, and Kano just kind of goes,
the fuck?
It's like, he's as confused by this shit as we are. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm confused.
He should have been the Han Solo. Like, he should have been the, like, scruffian that, like, bails on the tournament and then shows back up at the end to help out. And, like, he should have been the Han Solo.
If I could pitch a short rescue right now, cut 2 characters, Kung Lao, because who the fuck cares, and shovel all his dialogue over to Liu Kang because they're basically the same person, and get rid of Cabal. Who the fuck likes Cabal? Like, nobody fucking likes Cabal.
I was laughing the entire time Cabal was on screen.
He's just like this fucking asshole from New Jersey. I'm like, fuck you.
His voice actor was, like, in the animated movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, his performance felt like he was just in the animated movie, and no one told him this is, like, the serious Mortal Kombat reboot.
Yeah, like, cut some characters because most of them are just, like, there to be killed. Like, Nintara is just there to die.
Yeah.
She's just there to die. Milena does jack shit in the entire film.
That's disappointing.
Here's the way you get around it, though. Isn't Shang Tsung a shapeshifter?
Oh, I don't know. Dude, I've
Yes,
played, like,
he is.
2 of these games.
Yeah, he is the shapeshifter. How about you have Cabal show up in a cameo? He convinces Kano to turn, and then when Kano leaves the room, he turns back from Cabal into Shang Tsung.
Oh.
And that way, when Kano turns and drops that whole shield around Raiden's fortress, whatever the fuck it is, he just walks in and he's like, well, where's Cabal? He's like, and he's just like, you really are fucking stupid. And Kano's kind of like, oh, fuck.
Oh, that'd be cool. Actually,
They give him incentive to not turn on the group.
Right.
Like, as opposed to killing off your one character with personality.
I'm sad that this movie sounds less fun.
You know?
It's just Australians, man. They just ooze charisma.
And at the end of the movie, how about you have Cole and Hanzo, who just fucking appears out of fucking nowhere. How about you have them both using Scorpion's abilities? They both get the chain whip. One grabs Sub-Zero from the front, one grabs Sub-Zero from the back, and they both at the same time scream out, finish him, and they pull really hard, and they split Sub-Zero in half.
Well, because Sub-Zero has to come back in the sequels, and because Cole has to make it well, Cole has to make it into the game somehow, and he needs his own character set.
He's just Colossus.
Yeah.
These are just the X-Men. It's just the X-Men.
That would be cool.
I didn't hate it.
Put
I
it in the
didn't hate
movie.
it. It's like a 6 or 7 out of 10.
Byron, are you back?
Am I still muted? I guess
I
I'm
don't think
still
he's back yet.
Oh man, now I know why I was getting talked over. I was muted the whole time.
I was gonna ask, but sorry if you thought we were rude for a minute there.
No, it's okay. The only funny thing I was gonna say was I would expect them to do a sex joke if the guy's like, hey, where's your mark? And she's like, oh, well, wouldn't you like to know? That's what I would expect. But them to just say, I don't have one is like, oh.
It is an oddly sexless movie. For a franchise that is like all about big titty women, there is like nothing in this movie. I'm not saying like you need TNA, but god damn, this movie is dry as fuck.
The Marvel curse.
Drier than Ben Shapiro pussy dry, okay? Look,
there you go.
There is nothing in this movie.
Well, I mean, at least Ben Shapiro has his board to fuck now.
It's true.
God, that just gave me so much life the other day. Fucking comments on that just elevated my life.
I bought a board to own the libs.
So I didn't watch the video because I think I'll have a better time without the context. So just seeing him standing in like the middle of an intersection gesturing to this board that says Home Depot on it.
I just you can infer anything you want and it's correct.
Oh my god. I appreciate that, man. That's some quality entertainment for me.
Anyways, you guys want to finish this show out?
Yeah, let's fix this film.
I'm looking at Uncharted production photos. God damn, this looks terrible.
Oh no! Don't call me that.
Tom Holland has a terrible mustache. What the fuck
Ooh,
is
Tom
this?
Holland in a
All right,
mustache.
sold.
What
Holland.
the fuck is this?
I'm sorry. I need to see Tom Holland in a
Yeah,
mustache. before we
literally,
start.
that's the only important thing in my life right now.
What in fuck's name is this bullshit?
Oh
Okay,
no!
so I'm adjusting my pitch to include Tom Holland and Timothy Chalamet playing the same person with the same mustache.
Can we animate the mustache and have it talk? And if so, who are we gonna have voice it?
was
thinking
Henry
James Earl
Cavill.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh my
No,
god.
Henry Cavill, because it can be the same digitally erased mustache from Justice League.
There you go. Yeah, he needs work too.
He looks like somebody put a caterpillar on a baby.
It really does. I mean, definitely does
God.
not look like a mustache he grew himself, but
Oh god.
He's
You
practicing for a remake of There Will Be Blood.
Fuck you, Sony. Fuck you so fucking hard. Everything you do is shit.
I drink your milkshake, man. Oh lord.
Oh, fucking god.
He has to keep retaking his lines because the mustache keeps getting in his mouth, so it's lots of...
Oh lordy. Jesse, if you
Patreon
want,
cut of this episode is going to be a riot.
yeah, if you want to just grab the break and throw it on the end of this episode, I'm totally fine with that.
Oh, it's totally going at the back end of the episode. Just,
Excellent.
All right.
we will
Well-
talk more about Mortal Kombat tomorrow night.
Sweet.
Well, then I guess this is goodbye as we go into the break to break your mind here at the end of the episode to you, which is the middle to us. Here we go.